everybody. Welcome to Grandma Hershey Cooks. I'm Grandma Hershey, spelled with a U and not an E. Okay. Now, the ones that spell with an E, I got a lot of chocolate recipes if you want to hook me up. Okay. Anywho, so today is episode 126. I said it, 126. And we are making Indian curry chicken. Make sure I say it right because I'm fumbling those words around. Indian curry chicken. That was suggested by my niece in Colorado. You will. So, anywho, let's talk about the healthy highlights while we can. So, the healthy highlights for 1 cup of Indian curry chicken is 104.8 calories. Woo-hoo-hoo. Cholesterol 11.7. The sodium 117.9. The carbs are 5.2, and that's before the fiber is deducted. The sugar is 2.6. The protein is 5.6. The fiber is 1. So our net carbs is 4.2. I think we got the keto low today. So if you're on a keto diet or a low carb diet, serve it over the cauliflower rice. And then if you can go half and half, if you're not that low on it, and you can do half rice and half cauliflower rice, and then that way you're getting half of those carbs. Okay. So now, I'm going to tell you the contrast between chicken breasts and chicken tenders, because I end up using chicken tenders. And then I said, I wonder what's the difference. Oh man, that's the difference. All right. So now this report is by, and forgive me if I say your name wrong, Iona Ciuraru, Ciuraru. Okay. And I don't mean to say your name wrong. I grew up with that. Okay. So anywho, this is what she said. And if you want to, she's the main writer of foodiosity.com. I signed up. Maybe you want to sign up. And she liked to write about food curiosities. So if you want to know other things, go to her site. She is on Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. All righty. IOANA and then CIURARU. If you want me to send you that information, you can email me, Grandmahursheycooks@gmail.com. Remember, spell with a U. All right. So the fact is, despite being very similar, both cuts of meat offer different experiences. Where chicken breast is common, chicken tenders are a little more niche. The main difference between chicken tenderloin and chicken breast is the tenderness. They both come from the same place, the breast. The meat right on the chicken's ribs, but the tenders are closest to the ribs. And then the chicken breast, but they have the same flavor. They cook faster. I'll see. Oh, hold up. Let me back up a line. They both come from the same place. They come from the same place on the chicken's rib, but the tenders are closer to the ribs. They move much less and are smaller, and it makes them more tender than the breast. So, but they do have the same flavor. They cook faster, and they're not as dense as the breast. And so you get double the price. So 2 tenders is equivalent of 1 breast. I'm going like, that's all right, because at first I thought I had to use 12 tenders. I only had to use 6. And then it says that they cook faster and they're not as dense. And sometimes they get double the price of the breast. So you got to watch out at the store because they try to get more money. They do have to do a little more work, but who cares? All right. So if you flip a breast over and you'll see the smaller long piece on the back, that's the tenderloin. And you can easily pull it away. So the tenderloin and each whole chicken breast has 2 tenderloins on each whole chicken breast. Okay, no more, no less. That's what she said. Now, both the breast and the tenders are chest muscles, but the tenders are under the bigger breast muscle. There are 4 to 5 times smaller than the breast. They really are small, and each chicken has only 2 tenders. Oh, chicken breast, something. Grandma Hershey. Anywho, on the other hand, chicken breast is large enough to feed 2 people. So when you're eating a chicken breast, just know you are eating 2 servings on 1 chicken breast, a whole breast. Okay. So the tenders, you get 2 per breast, and they're good for feeding a small child and me. Okay. I don't need 2 tenders. I only need the 1. So in terms of portion. So now there is a clear difference in the meat. The breast is tougher, and you know that. That's why we usually, when I do a breast, I slice it and in half. I guess I get the tenderloin. And it has been moved more, has more use than the tender part. So the breast is tougher and denser, and in some cases stringier. Tenders are very tender, she says, being mostly stationary because they don't go nowhere. They don't do nothing but just sit there and be pretty. I said that part. So major plus the tenderloin has its juiciness and how fast it cooks. You don't have to cook it long. This makes it a perfect candidate for anyone who wants to cook something that is juicy and yet fast. So chicken breasts take a little longer to cook. It can get dry pretty quickly. And you can dry out tenders too if you cook it too long. So you don't have to cook them long, remember. So because chicken tenders are so tender and juicy, chicken breast is considered a lesser choice, okay? And chicken breast is the possibly the most bland part of the chicken that you can find, and that is true. So if you want to still have your leanness, then get the tenders. You'll have more juice. Now they say that the breast is usually cheaper than the tenders. I caught them on sale. So anywho, I'm almost done. Like they say when they preaching, I'm at the close. This makes the breast cheaper compared to tenders. If you go and buy chicken tenders packaged separately, they can double the price. Watch them. This is because they require the butcher to take extra steps and more care when deboning the chicken breast. Watch out for fake tenders. Well, you always got to have somebody doing something crazy. You'll sometimes see regular chicken breasts cut into small strips and sold as tenders. Shame on them. But those are not real tenders. The real ones are long and wide, and they should look looser. The grain isn't as tightly packed as with the chicken breast. So chicken tenders is the choice if you have to choose, unless they cost more. And since they keep their tenderness and are juicy, and you have the option, use chicken tenders. That's what I always say. And did I say her name right? Iona. Sorry. Chicken tenders. Okay, so you get a slightly nicer change in texture from the crispy outside and the juiciness inside. And yes, you can easily substitute chicken breast for tenders or the other way around. Just keep in mind that tenders might be double the price of chicken breast. So watch what you're buying. And hey, don't worry about the cook time because it don't take long. Okay, I thought you might like that info. So now, let's talk about our ingredients so we can hear it. Because time is of the essence around here. We don't have all day. Okay, so we use 3 mini sweet peppers. Okay, I use a red one, a yellow one, and an orange one, but you use whatever kind you want. You can use bell pepper if you want to, whatever you got. I like to catch them on sale. And then you're going to use 1 of each color, okay? And then I was supposed to use a small sweet onion, but my onions had went bad. So I end up using some Mrs. Dash onion and herb. But that's okay. You use what's on the recipe. Unless you don't have none, then you use some Mrs. Dash and put a teaspoon in, okay? Then 1.5 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of ginger powder, 14.5 ounce can of chopped tomatoes with no salt, 2 tablespoons of curry powder. Unless you want a little less curry, then you can use 1. And if you wanted more curry, use 3. But I use 2. Okay. And then 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt because it did need a little to it. Okay. And then 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper if you choose to use it if you want a little spicy. So 3 tablespoons of vegetable or canola oil. That's to fry the tenders in. And then 2 cups of the no salt or unsalted chicken broth, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch for the thickness. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do this. So now what I did go ahead and I chopped the cut the tender. This is a live show. You get your bloopers here. So I cut the tenderloins into bite-sized pieces. Then I did fry them, sauteed them, fried them in the 3 tablespoons of oil. And so we're not doing that part. And then when you're done, you do need to drain it, because it do get a little juicy and a little oily. Okay, so here's the cooked tenderloins already. And this was 6 tenderloins, because you're going to get 6 servings out of this, 6 1-cup servings out of this one batch. And then I'm going to turn this up some. I was trying to heat the did I have this right? Yeah, I was trying to heat the pot up a little bit. All right, so then here you go. I slivered the peppers. That just means thinly sliced. That's a fancy word for thinly sliced. Put that in there, and then if you use the onions, then you sliver those too if you want. Then we have our chicken. I mean, not chicken. Lord have mercy. Got our tomatoes. Chopped tomatoes. In you go, tomatoes. All right. Then we're going to put in our chicken broth. Make sure I don't waste that. This thing, I mean, it filled it to the brim. There we go. All right. So now, and that's my seasoning. Okay. Got all our seasoning right here. So we're going to put the seasoning in. I mean, that's a lot of seasoning too. I'm gonna run out of space. But we like our food seasoned. We don't want no bland stuff. Nope. Not if you can help it. And it's not a lot of salt in it, as you can tell from the macronutrient thing, the healthy highlight. All right. So you can see that how it's turned colors. That's from the curry powder. So now what we're going to do before it gets hot, I'm going to take out about a 1/2 cup of the broth, so that when it gets pretty much done, then I will stir in the cornstarch. Okay, you might see that part, you might not. So anywho, that's what's in there, and we're going to turn this up. We're going to cover it. Trust the lid here. And we're going to turn it up so it can come to a boil. And when it comes to a boil, we're going to lower the heat and simmer it for 10 minutes. And that should be done, because basically you're really getting all the herbs, the seasoning all in there, and then heating it up. Okay. So now, while that is going on, why don't you go ahead and do the thumbs up before you forget, like Grandma Hershey does. Okay, put a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed already, click subscribe. Then when you see that list of bells, click the black bell. That way, whenever I come on, you will get a little notice about it. Okay, so now why don't we and after the show, which being a little bit, because we already got some here to show you. The kitchen angels made some last night. So after the show, you want to share this recipe. You want to share it with everybody you know. Share it with your friends. Share it with your neighbors. Share it with your relatives. And share it with your enemies, because everybody got to eat. We still got to feed the world. And let's do the shout outs. How about that? So, shout outs. I want to shout out. I don't know why I did that. To Marcy, Alex, to Josh. Hi, Josh. He's a new person, and he said he made the Watergate salad before. He had commented on the Watergate salad. Oh, he said he never made it with the sugar-free pudding, but he's going to try it out. Thank you, Josh. And then I want to shout out to Merle, Sabelle, Diana, and Fitzy the cat. To my niece in Colorado who suggested that I make this. To Andreas, to my sister, to Reggie, Aya, Najee, Kay, Regina, Tom, and Cassie. To my great-granddaughters, Rising and Soul, who said they watch me cook every day. And to John, my sport mentor, Amanda and my granddaughter Tuka. She was the first one to taste it. Try it out for me. She said it. She walked in the kitchen. She said it smells like Indian food in here. I took that as a good sign. Okay. So now today we have we have a gotcha day. So Fitzy the cat has a sibling who is Darcy the dog. And her gotcha day was this week. So we're going to be singing to Darcy too. And then Tuka, my granddaughter Tuka, had a birthday, turned sweet 16. I didn't ask if she ever been kissed. I don't want to know. But anyway, she turned sweet 16 last week. And then Andreas, he had a birthday on Sunday. Now, last week I did sing happy birthday to Alex, but his birthday was actually on Sunday, so we're going to sing to him again. How about that? So, Marcy, you ready? And who else? Somebody else said they singing with us too. Whoever you are, go ahead and sing with us too. Okay, here we go. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Darcy, Tuka, Andreas, and Alex. Happy birthday to you. Ooh, see, it's starting to boil. We're going to go ahead and turn this down to simmer. And by the time we're done, it's probably be done. So, but what we did do, I almost forgot to taste it. So what we did do was we had some rice that was left over from yesterday's. They don't have to make another pot because they're going to eat this stuff tonight. So I'm going to put this rice in this bowl. We're going to put the rice in the bowl. And like I said, if you count your carbs, then use the cauliflower rice. And if you want to have 50-50, use half cauliflower rice and half regular rice. Now, this is the jasmine rice, so that's what everybody like around here. Okay? And then we're going to turn this pot a little bit. We're going to pick up this bowl while I warmed up this soup. It'll still be pretty warm, so it don't be cold. Okay. See, this is how it looks when it's done. Don't that look good? And it's still a little soupy, but not too soupy. Okay, so we're going to pour that over the rice. Ooh, don't that look good? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. Damn. We're gonna see. Oh, that looks so pretty. Too pretty to eat. But we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's not poison. All right, let's do that. I got some tomatoes, got pepper, and I got a piece of chicken. Here we go. Tastes like curry rice. This is good. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna take one for the team. Okay. Can't never forget the team. Whoever whosoever they are. Try to give me some more chicken. That's some good stuff. All I need is some of that bread that they eat with to stop the juice. So anywho, that was that. And that was good. And I'm going to tear this up when the show is over, okay? So now next week, since it's supposed to be cooler, it's time to turn the oven on. We are going to be making butter pecan cookies. Pecan, potato, tomatoes, whatever way you want to say it, baby. We making pecan cookies next week. So get ready for it. For the first cookie since the winter. And I'm ready for it. Okay. It's going to be gluten-free. And it's going to be low carb and low calorie. So it's going to be diabetic friendly and loveliness friendly. Anywho, it's time to go. I'll see you guys next week. Make sure you hug somebody. Tell them you love them. And if it's your man or your woman, go on and give them a good smooch. How about that? And be good to people. All right. Be nice, because you don't want to reap no bad. Don't want to sow no bad seed. Okay. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all guys later. Love you. Mwah. Okay. The mouse. Here we go.